The Luis Guzman and Casper Martinez Show.
We are two wild and crazy guys.
That's right. Sometimes they're funny.
There you go. You won't feel so bad.
Yes, I do actually.
Sometimes they're serious.
My daughter made an incredible squash vegetable soup.
But they're always real.
Do you use a regular toothbrush or do you have like an electronic toothbrush?
And will tell you the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
The Luis Guzman and Casper Martinez Show.
Vaya mi gente. The Luis Guzman and Casper Martinez Show. I'm Casper Martinez. That is Luis Guzman right there con la gorrita hanging out. Oye, tú estás vendiendo piragua. I like the hat.
Ya mismo, papi, ya mismo.
That's what I'm talking about. So welcome.
Baby.
Welcome to all of you here on Facebook Live. Give me a moment because I'm going to go ahead and get on that page. I want to see who's on with us, who's going to talk with us tonight. Esta noche aquí en Te Lo Hundo. Just because I'm silly that way.
Yo, everybody, like, come on, you got to start hitting abuela, titi, tu madrina, tu padrino. Let's get it on,
Let
people.
them know.
We have so many things to talk about. Siri, what's up?
I got match to talk about. Seriously.
What do you want to talk about? Where you want to start?
De todo, bro. De todo un poco. First of all, I want to know how you're doing. How you doing? How's everything with you, brother? How was your week so far?
Bro, the week has been great, except today, bro. So you guys know, right? I've been dealing with bears. I've been dealing with a chipmunk. Bro, you would not fucking believe what happened today. I opened the door, and there's a 3-foot snake curled up in front of the door.
No shit.
A snake. Yo, Sandra, how are you, Mia? And I want you to know that it had an orange belly, and everybody said, "Oh, we never seen that kind of snake." So I don't know if it's a conspiracy. ¿Qué pasa, Evie? How are you, my love? Saludo. So yeah, so bro, it's like me tienen de relajo estos animales aquí.
Dude, you have a jungle because you have chipmunks, you have bears, you have,
Bro,
do you have
jungle.
ferrets?
You're the one that lives in the freaking jungle.
Yeah,
you got
but,
coyotes, you got alligators, Papa, alligators.
Yeah, we do have alligators out here. I don't get to see them that much because they're not anywhere near my house, you know, but we do have all kinds
Not
of
yet,
wildlife.
Papi. We're changing as we speak. Not yet,
That's
espera, que estoy buscando algo aquí. Not yet. Pero van a llegar, tú verás. You know? And when they do show up, you're going to be asking, yo, Louis, how's the real estate in Vermont?
Yo, can I move over there?
Just so you know, because I'm in Vermont, that's 1 weekend too many. So you can't come.
True.
No.
I feel you.
See what's going on, vamos a decir, pa Alaska, pa allá. You know?
I feel you.
You know, us Boricuas, we love to party. And Blanca, we love to party. And they have 6 hours of daylight over there and 6 hours of night. No, half the year is daylight, half the year is night, right? Is anybody ever live in Alaska? Hit me up.
Yeah, yo creo que son 6 meses de verano o de sol, and then 6 months of no sun.
Okay. All right. So yeah, check it out. Look up the real estate, Casper. Let me know.
You know, there's a lot of Boricuas working in Alaska.
What the hell they doing up there?
Papi, the money's good. The money's good. They're working out there, you know, and on the fishing side. So, con el frío que hace allá afuera.
No, eso está acá con papa. Para allá yo no voy.
Hey, listen, we're right now in Florida, we're getting like 105 index of heat. You know, it's ridiculous out here. Even in the morning, early morning, it's just hot as hell. I can't wait till like October, November, You know, that's Erika and Angel Rosario Ortiz. What's going on, guys?
That's a beautiful name right there, bro. They're all
It's
beautiful. We
it's
got
that
Sadie, Sandra, Evie, Blanca, Erika, Chacho.
you
We're
get to
being
see it.
dominated tonight by
Yeah.
strong women, so I'm all about that.
Oh yeah, and I want to say congratulations to all of us because our Facebook fan page has reached over 800 likes in just what it's only been up for like a week or so. You know, this page has been up shortly, and we're about to make 1,000. So I want to thank you guys. También, I want to let you guys know.
Excuse me, Casper. Excuse me,
Uh-huh.
Casper. Anita, thank you for complimenting my hat.
Oh, because Anita's saying that
You know, I've
sharp.
been hanging out
You
all
cut
this
me
time,
off promoting
and
my
not
social
one
media.
mention from Casper. Que mierda.
That was the very first thing I said on the show. I'm glad this is recorded because the very first thing I said, oh, look at that hat. Oye, ¿tú vas a vender piragua hoy? So, pa'l carajo, right, bro? Stop acting like I'm not talking to you because I was talking to you.
You know what, Casper? For once, you are right. You are right. David, what's up? Rocky. And somewhere where Aggie, it was
Aggie from Texas.
today when I got in my car, 111.
Damn, you could fry eggs out of your car seat.
Bro,
Seriously.
hey, you can make a freaking pernil out there. You can make a freaking pernil. 111, that's why you just slow cook it for 3 days, baby. You know?
Yo, it gets ridiculous, bro. It really gets ridiculous. You know,
Every
and
day.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain, Aggie. Like I said, over here the heat index is 104, 106. It's getting cray. But I'm staying true.
So David just said that right now it's all day, and in the winter it's all night. Alaska is beautiful. So I'm gonna take that. Dave has been watching a lot of National Geographics because So Rocky wants to know, why did I choose Vermont? Rocky, let's get something straight, Papa. Vermont chose me. I gotta look at it that way. Because they kind of sucked me in. I used to come to Vermont when I was a teenager. A couple of my friends went to college here. I had a good friend that was a professor. I bought my first house off my first residual check from Crocodile Dundee 2 and bought me a little house up here. And Casper, have you ever visited me in Vermont?
Yes, several times.
Right?
Yeah, I've stood over there for weekends and such. You even showed me that helicopter picture that they took of your estate at that time.
Do you guys think I could see that picture one day?
Maybe I'll send you a picture of the picture. So go ahead, Louis. You were saying.
Send him a picture. Send him a picture of the picture. So anyway, you know what it was, man, that we had a big family. We had adopted 4 kids. We have one of our own. We have 5 incredible little people in our lives. And I wasn't going to have it raising them in a 2-bedroom apartment in New York City. So I bought a farm, 130 acres, 300 acres. Somebody have a tantrum, you open the door, they work it out. They got all the work to do.
And you also told me, right, that you were inspired to move up there because you were also part of Outward Bound and had some friends that did Outward Bound. That's one thing me and Louis have in common, Rocky. We both did Outward Bound. I did Minnesota, 22 days out there. You did Maine, sailing, something.
I did Maine, I did sailing, seasick like a mother, cabrones. Mildred, how are you, mija?
But yeah, Vermont's beautiful. And tell them about you. At one time, I'm not sure if you still have it, but the syrup. Remember, I used to go to your house and you had cans and cans of maple syrup in your closet.
I still have maple syrup. Yeah, we still do maple syrup. We have Puerto Rican maple syrup here in Vermont for anybody that's interested.
Pa que lo sepa, Rocky. You see, you learn something new from Louis Guzman every day and every time you listen.
Because that's how we roll. Marky, saludo. Oh, man, yo, check this out, Casper. So this week, 2 days ago, they had, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Perdóname. they had an election in Puerto Rico. Did you hear all that crazy shit that happened?
Yes, I did. I'm not too familiar with the entire process in Puerto Rico politics, but I saw David Bernard, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, from CBS. He's always posting stuff about Puerto Rico. And I saw that there were a lot of issues with the ballots, that some ballots were already filled in. I mean, I saw stuff on Twitter of people saying, mira, look at my paperwork. It's already filled out for me, you know. So listen, man, that's some scary shit.
And in quite a few places, they did not have enough ballots for people to vote.
Right. So there was either a short list of ballots that were already pre-filled out, or more issues with, I believe, I don't even know if they have machines. Do they do just ballots, write-in? How does it work? You know, because I know that there's a lot of issues, and that's scary because
I will tell you how it works. It's freaking corrupted there. So político, me tienen encabronado. You know, how the hell are you going to have election and you don't have your shit together for your people to vote? For your people, our people, nuestra gente, you know, what is that? What is that? You know, I'm sorry to say, but Puerto Rico, when it comes to politics, one of the most corrupted places in the world. Y da pena.
Oh, absolutely.
Yo soy un boricua con un orgullo. But coño, man, the people that run that island, coño, piensa. Where you guys at, man? And I'm not scared to say it because you know what? It's already in the news. So this is not no new news.
Right, yeah, you know? Exactly. We're not giving you any new information. We're kind of just surprised.
We're giving you shit you don't already know.
It's 2020 and we still can't figure out how to goddamn vote. It's ridiculous.
Coño, man.
It's bullshit. You can create an app for anything, but we just can't get voting.
You know, they had to suspend voting in Puerto Rico because of this crapola. You know?
That's crazy, man.
You know? Like democracy in Puerto Rico, I don't know, Papa.
Mildred Rodan is saying that Puerto Rico does not have machines. People fill in ballots old school style. That's why there's so much corruption. Sad to say, but it's true. Absolutely, Mildred. I agree with you 1,000%.
You know? No, man, that should not be that way. That should not be that way.
Un saludito a Blanca Rodriguez, Stuart, Florida in the house. Got a lot of people from Florida. Hey.
Yo,
what's up, Blanca?
What's up with Florida? How you guys doing down there, by the way?
We're hot and sweaty, bro. This is hot and sweaty time.
Is that smell I smell all the way here in Vermont? Oh,
I do apologize. I did not wash my ass tonight, so you could smell it through the camera. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay. So, all right, fine. Just for you. All right. But so yeah, listen, you know, it's the South Bronx is in the house, Jose. Saludo.
South Bronx.
Anybody that wants to come on and say hi, if you got a question, we'll put you on live with us, okay? I love seeing
That's right.
my people, you know, and so there we go.
And we have the link right on the Facebook fan page. It says, if you want to join the show, click on this link. If you got your camera and your mic ready and you want to say hi to us and join the show, come on down and join the show. We say hello. All
I have to say is, atrévete.
Atrévete.
Porque yo estoy preparado y estoy listo para todos ustedes hoy. And people, whoever's watching, can you start hitting up all your friends and tell them, yo,
what's up?
Martinez.
That's my boy.
You know Jose?
Jose Cedeño.
Yeah, you know Jose?
I thought that was Jimmy's brother, but no, I do apologize. He looks so much like my boy Jimmy's brother. But anyway, hello to Jose. Jose, what's up? Representing El Sur del Bronx. That's where I'm from, 149th and Eagle. You know, well, I'm from all over the South Bronx, 164th and Girard. In the 70s, grew up by Yankee Stadium, then moved over to 149th and Eagle, lived on 143rd. I lived in Mount Eden. I lived in Grand Concourse. I lived everywhere in the Bronx. Pelham Parkway. What's up, Hector? Hector, my boy from South Bronx High School. Saludo, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, Louis, we have Jackie in the house again with us tonight. She's going to be hanging out with us and having a good time. Jackie's with us. What's up, Gustavo? Hook me up with Jackie. I just wanted to do it more hype because Louis is always saying that when I introduce
Oh my
people.
God, mira.
Oh my God, it's Princess Leia.
Los nenes míos. Ay, qué lindo.
Que Dios te bendiga, nena. From an atheist. You love that, right? An atheist is telling you, God bless you.
Are you an atheist?
Yes, ma'am.
I did not know that. Ooh, that's controversial. Why are you an atheist? You're Puerto Rican.
I know, right? It's like we're conditioned to already believe something. We're pre-programmed. We should stay that way.
Right, exactly. What about you, Louis? Paga atención. Estamos acá.
No, Luis está bien. Luis está bien. You know, I want to give you guys a fun little fact on a day like
Mira
today.
quién está aquí, Phil Maldonado, ¿viste, papá?
Philly Phil. Oh yeah, look at Phil.
El first thing that he said is paquetero. Oh, coño, está cabrón.
Mira, Jackie, let them know. Was I not talking about Phil Maldonado the other day to you?
You were, because you saw the short film and you were praising it and you were like, I saw Phil's name in the credits. I saw, I was like, yeah. Yep. Phil.
Love you, Philip. Miss you, loca vieja.
Phil is an incredible salsa dancer too. When we go dancing, he's always
everybody's
dancing.
a salsa dancer. All I do is salsa dip. Everybody else salsa dances, you know.
Yeah, salsa dip.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still laughing.
That's so
I taught Phil every salsa move he knows.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I believe it. Got some moves too, Louis.
No. But then he kind of enhanced them all.
Oh, I was gonna say, that's messed up because Philip's not here to really defend himself, and I love the way you took the shine away from him. Phil, you should get on right now.
Put him on. Phil, come on.
Come on and say hello, brother. And while Phil is doing that, I want to say what's up to Diana Molina, my homegirl from South Bronx. Phil, get on, brother.
Yo, let me tell you something. Right there, Phil. Hit that little thing that says the Louis Guzman Casper. Hit that, and we're going to bring you right here, and we're going to have a nice little talk with Casper.
Oh.
Jackie, it looks like a really nice background you got there. That's pretty amazing.
Thank you. I'm comfortable today.
I like the pastels.
No, and it's very casual. At first, I thought she was playing like house. You know how kids, let's build a tent in the bedroom. But it looks comfy. It looks very comfy.
Very comfy. I got the light coming in from over here.
I know you got the Princess Leia thing going on.
Hey,
I got Indiana Jones and Princess Leia. So who the hell am I?
Hey, that's nice. We coordinated. Mira.
Brother, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe that's where you went. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be Pedro Navaja y la muñeca. Come on, bro. You gotta Latinize it.
Okay, so then
that's the word for today. Latinize.
Let me tell okay, so then you're Indiana Juancho instead of Indiana Jones.
Y Princesa Leia.
Y la princesa Loca instead of Leia.
La princesa loca's right. Did you guys hear that? That supposedly, well, first of all, Kamala Harris as Biden's running mate. Hey,
yes.
Did you hear that when he did his interviews for vice president, one of the questions was, "What do you think Trump's nickname for you would be?" And I was like, "What would Trump's nickname for me be?"
Oh, I'm sure. You know, because that was the first thing that went down.
What do you think that Trump's nickname for you would be? That was one of the questions.
Oh, shit.
Once he found out that you were the nominee or the vice president nominee with Joe Biden, so they were already they were vetting them to see what this idiot was gonna say.
Yeah, but let's go.
Would handle it.
What would your nickname be, Casper?
For Kamala?
My God, your nickname, Casper.
You yourself.
You.
My nickname would be Albondiga.
Okay. Jackie.
What would mine? I don't know. I've been thinking about it all day and I can't come up with anything. The problem is I can come up with too much. That's the problem.
Okay, let's come up with one. Uno.
One that sums it all up. Loca. Crazy J.
Casper, I think we're on to something here.
Yeah. And what's your nickname, Mr.
El
Fu Manchu?
Papo Swing. That's it. Keep it simple.
El Papo
what
Swing.
would my nickname be? Papi Chulísimo.
Damn.
I
Somebody's
don't
feeling
think he would call
themselves.
you that. I don't think he would call you chulo. I don't think he would call you that. I think
No.
he would.
He probably would say something like Papi Culo.
Yeah, exactly.
You're my favorite, Papiculo.
Easier for him.
Amazing. You're amazing in your movies. Lots of movies he's done. Lots of talking parts.
You know why? You know why? Because I am
a talented motherfucker.
Viste.
Yeah,
For those of you that don't know how to read, remember one thing. Reading
Talented
is fundamental.
Oh, yeah.
Reading is fundamental.
So I just gotta say this real quick. May I, Jackie?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Casper, number one. Me and Jackie, we got like a really freaking cool setup, okay? You look like you're in a freaking office fluorescent lights and shit like that. Papo, cambia eso.
Espérate. To be fair,
No.
the first time you were on the show, Louis, you looked like you were in a
We don't have time for this, Casper.
Hold on.
Okay.
Here. I found that in my pocket for you.
For those who
Casper.
he's giving Louis
Jackie, you
But
can't.
guys, don't you see his Emmy right there? Don't you see his Emmy? He's decorating.
Emmys don't mean nothing.
Come on.
Emmys don't mean nothing.
That's my bong.
Exactly. Once you get it, it doesn't mean anything. Actually, there's something called the Oscar curse. Have you guys ever heard of this? That
Yes.
after somebody wins an Oscar, an actor specifically, like they go radio silent and their careers are like on the precipice of completely over.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
I mean, a lot of people.
Un momento. I want everybody to know that we have Ann Davila Caldenan, Boricua. She's checking us out tonight, and she wrote this book that I read, and it's a really cool book. So
that's the one about the cuco.
The cuco, yeah, man.
Hi, Ann.
Yeah, man.
Hola.
So that's right there. Okay, yeah, because now then she's gonna get all hyper. Yeah, okay, that's all I want to say. You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's right. Support Latino authors. Yeah.
Absolument. Louis, you there?
How much do you miss me? What?
You were freezing, bro.
I'm right here.
You still look like you're a little like
okay.
Louis looks like the 1980s video games. He's mad pixelated. I think like Pac-Man's gonna come out of the left side of the screen. You know, Qbert will show up from behind him.
Atari. What was the Atari games where you used to?
The Atari 2600. I had the Atari 2600. Defender.
Coleco was it?
There was ColecoVision.
Mira, eso te daña la mente.
Eso te daña la mente.
Yo, when we were kids, we would play hide and go seek, manhunt, tag, Johnny Rabbit. We would play check it. We would play. You know what I'm saying?
Bottle caps. Remember bottle caps?
Tag.
Yeah.
Ringalario.
You know what I'm saying? So Okay.
Marbles.
Call me bedroom.
What?
Louis,
What are you
I'm
talking
sorry.
about?
I'm sorry, buddy, but we're having problems listening to you and seeing you. You keep freezing up, and your audio keeps leaving us. You might want to reconnect. Because
I know what
Jackie
it
amazing.
is. I know what it is. I know. 1 second. I got you, Poppy.
Sorry,
I got
guys.
you right
Technical issues. Technical issues.
Oh,
I
it
got you
happens.
right.
It happens.
It's
Technology
all
rock.
good.
I know.
But anyway, there was a game with
Mhm.
the little platform on the bottom that used to swing, that you used to move right and left, and there was a little bolita that used to bounce off.
That was ping pong, and that was in Coleco, I think. That
was
was pong.
ping pong?
That was that first video game that had the two little levers.
Oh, that was that one. No, I'm talking about the one that was bomb. And then there was stuff on the top, and it kept bouncing up and
So you're
down.
talking
Oh,
about Pac-Man?
Tetris. I think
No,
it was
Tetris.
Tetris.
No. If anybody knows the name of this, please help me out. Pong.
Pong.
Thank you,
There
Rob.
you go.
And then there was
go.
another one where you would shoot. It was a little guy that would go side to side, and you would shoot the worm that was coming down.
Right, that was Centipede, I think.
Centipede.
Yeah,
I used
Centipede
to love those
and
games.
Space
They were so
Invaders.
simple.
I mean,
Space Invaders.
They were so easy. Now I get on these games, and some of them scare the ever living shit out of
I
me. Like, I'm
stopped
not even kidding.
playing video games. You know why, Jackie? They freak me out because
They
when
freak me out
you
too.
look at that controller and it has arrows, then it has pyramids, and then it has side buttons. So not only do you have the 4 buttons on the top, the 2 buttons on the side, the other 2 buttons on the other side, the 4 buttons on the top here. It went from Nintendo to no entiendo. So I just play, you know?
Right? No, the ones that I get scared when like things jump out at you. I can't play. I get anxious. I'm like, I freak out. You don't want to see me playing a video game. It's too realistic for me. I can't do it. It's
The only one that I actually played recently that I'm okay with is that Rock Band one, because that Rock Band is actually Simon Says visually, because it's green, red, green, blue.
That's
You
true.
know, so I was like,
Never
okay, this is Simon Says.
Wow. Wow. Do you guys remember what was the one that you would shake and then you do the 2 little things and it was like
Oh, the Etch-a-Sketch? No.
Etch-a-Sketch. Games used to be so simple and so fun. What happened?
How about La Ouija? Did you guys ever do the Ouija board?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I've done a Ouija board.
Are you moving
no,
it?
you believe in that?
No.
No.
You believe in that?
Not anymore.
Oh, I do.
What? That the Ouija board is possessed, or that there's like spirits?
Listen, one time we were in the South Bronx in the projects in my friend's house, and it was me, Jackie, Kathy, a bunch of friends of mine from high school. We were celebrating a birthday. We start playing with this Ouija board. All I know is that when we turned the lights on, the entire place was covered with roaches. Everywhere.
No.
Everywhere.
Come on, bro.
Everywhere.
You guys were tripping, bro. You guys were tripping.
Nah, bro. And at that time, I tripped a lot. That day, I wasn't tripping, bro.
Well,
Atlanta. Ready?
I'm telling you, that was creepy.
Have I ever done the Ouija board?
Yeah.
Or do I believe in it? Oh, yeah. I used to play with the Ouija board all the time. And I used to play with a neighbor friend of mine who I swear she was always moving it. Are you moving it? I'm not moving it. Are you moving it? I'm not moving it. And then she'd be like, are you moving it? And I'd be like, I'm not moving it. Where? Because it would spell out exact sentences. And sometimes it would want to attack me specifically. So I'm like, she's definitely moving it.
Somebody's moving it.
What about you, Louis?
Huh?
What about
Have you ever done that?
Oh, espera.
Hey. Nice.
Oh, he's got to fix his hat to tell the story?
Yeah.
I like them both. You look pretty.
Thank
No,
you.
now he looks like that guy that goes to they got to pedir fiao, but they always tell him no. Yo, papi, I swear I'll pay you on Friday, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I never played with those because I knew better.
Wow, that is such a boring answer, and you fixed your hat for that shit. Did Tyler say you never played with them?
So you believe that a game that is manufactured in a factory of just like cardboard and with a plastic thing with felt on it. I don't know what it's called, indicator.
Right.
Has spirits and ghosts in it.
Have you never seen the movies?
Look, don't get me wrong. I do believe that there's stuff that we don't understand. Do I believe that it's in a Ouija board?
Hold on, Jackie. The thing is, it's not that the game and where it's manufactured. It's the space that you are in and the vibe and the frequencies that are flowing around there can affect anything.
The energy.
It's all energy.
I have a story. I have a story about
Greg, email us that and we'll continue here. Thanks, buddy.
No. Gustavo, go ahead.
Okay, so when I was 12 years old, right? My mom thought that I was a bad kid, that a devil was inside of me, right? So when I was in Peru, she took me to a bruja that rubbed a guinea pig all on my body and spit liquid on me. And then they drowned the guinea pig, opened it up and looked inside, and there were like black spots inside. And the lady's like telling my mom like what they took out and shit. So like I literally could never have like hamsters or guinea pigs as
that
pets.
Doesn't even sound like Santeria. What is
it? It's in Peru. Yeah.
Your mom hates you.
Te pasan el cuy.
Yeah, bendito.
I have that memory. I'm going to relive that on my deathbed. I'm going to relive that moment.
Listen, Gustavo, D. Molina had the story. I want to hear. D, come on.
Okay, come on.
Yeah.
Bring
D.
Diana.
Diana. Can you bring D on? You know? No, I don't play with that shit, man. Ni pa'l carajo. You know? Not me.
Miriela.
You know?
My friend Miriela del Carmen used to work with me.
Look, I do believe that there's stuff that we cannot explain. And matter of fact, yesterday, I was in my room and the door, there was no wind, nothing. Yeah, I had my window open, there was no wind. And the door like slammed itself shut. So I was like, this is weird. There's no wind. Whatever, maybe it's a cross breeze. So I opened the door and it did it again. And it felt like it was pulling my hand. That's not normal with no breeze, no wind, nothing.
Shit. Are you there right now? Are you there right now? Are you there right now?
My door is over there.
Okay, Jackie, get out of the house now. Get out of the house now.
That's exactly what I was gonna recommend. I see it.
Because I go watch these scary movies, and it's like, yo, dude, the maid left. She left.
Yeah.
Okay, the babysitter left. They told you guys, y'all should really consider moving out of here. But no, we're going to stay here.
Of course, because otherwise the movie would last 5 minutes. So we need at least an hour and 40 minutes of stressed out dead little people in the houses so we can watch.
Exactly. But you know what's funny is that I found myself actually being like, I don't know, this is weird. And then in the movie, people would be like, leave the house. But I was actually just still there playing with the door. So I would be one of the idiots, I guess. Unfortunately.
You know what? You said it, not me.
True.
Casper, we're free and clear.
Okay? We are, brother. We are
free and clear.
Mira, yo creo que Philly Mondongo wants the link, so I'm trying to help him out because we've put the link 20,000 times there.
Phil. But you know what it is? Like me, Phil is old school. So it might take him a few days, might take him till next week. I don't know. Pero siempre es posible que pasará un milagro. Posiblemente. Natasha, what's up? What's that? Natasha Cintron from Philadelphia, an amazing woman.
Hey, Natasha Cintron.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got a ghost. I think so. It might be my pops, though. So if it's my pops, stay.
Yo, Gustavo, can you bring on Molina for us, please? Molina is backstage. Come on. I want to hear Molina's story about.
Bring Diana on board. Diana's a friend of mine from high school. So she knows me from way back in the day. So Diana, come on board. And Phil, We are giving you the link. I'm not sure if you're seeing it.
I did a show back in the day.
Okay, that I want to hear.
Oh, this is creepy. It was called From Beyond. It was
right. I remember.
Yes, and I associate produced it. It was on NBC Universal Mundos, and then it was on several other channels. But the final episode of the first season was it's creepy because it was at Linda Vista Hospital, which no longer exists. But Linda Vista Hospital had been haunted, and it was a place, or supposedly haunted, and it was a place that a lot of filmmakers would go to shoot like these really creepy scenes in hospitals. So across from the hospital, there was the mental institution where all the crazy patients would stay. And supposedly there was one room in that mental institution that was haunted by, we thought by a demon or something. We weren't sure.
This is in Vancouver, right?
No, this is here in LA.
Oh, okay.
Linda Vista Hospital has since it was torn down, which is a shame because it was like a really cool place. But so we go to do the final scenes of the last episode to shoot them in this room, and we shoot everything and nothing particularly spectacular happens. As we're leaving, so there were three one psychic, one paranormal investigator, and one interviewer. The psychic was like, ah! And he screamed, and we all turned around. He was like, are you okay? He's like, something scratched me. And on the back of his neck, he had 3 scratches like this that looked like somebody took a pin and scraped him 3 times across his neck. And you could tell they were brand new scrapes because, you know, when someone scratches you, it turns white before it starts to bleed, and it's like red. It was like that. And we were like, he couldn't have scratched himself because he didn't have nails. He didn't have pockets. So he didn't have, unless he hid something somewhere. After that, I was like, okay, I think maybe there's something to this. That was creepy because supposedly that's what demons do. So I don't know. It's interesting though. And that wasn't part of the show. Like, it wasn't scripted. That actually happened.
Sí, mija, arréglate.
That's too funny.
Okay, mija, what's your story? Saludo.
So, saludo, Cass, what's up?
What's
Hello,
up,
how are
Diana?
you? Hi. So when my grandmother from my grandfather's side died, my mother used to have this thing that you couldn't sing, you couldn't hear music, you couldn't watch the TV. Everybody had to be in complete silence. And when the adults broke out, we would, on the low, listen to our stuff. Tio Cano was the culprit, and he used to put on his Sugar Hill Gang. And when it started with the hip, the hip, my uncle started like doing this little jig, and his whole knee went crack, 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 and he broke his leg that day. And everybody freaked out. Everybody se engrenó.
Yo, but how the hell did he break his leg dancing?
First of all, he was about 42-ish, not the greatest of health and stuff, but for whatever reason, his knee went in him trying to
Yo, he was the joint.
Wait. Hold, mija. That is not paranormal.
It was funny as fudge because here we are worried about listening to music because our grandmother just died, and he's the first one to put the Sugar Hill Gang on.
Listen, I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand. Mija, I couldn't understand if your tío started rapping like your abuela and her voice coming out.
You don't think that was crazy that his leg?
If his leg broke like this, that's weird.
The other two's interest, but I think you
understand.
Need a smack, Louis. You don't got mommy on the side.
I don't understand how the hell that was paranormal. I could understand how he needed.
Okay, and
what I think is paranormal.
for what you did to Benny Blanco from the Bronx, okay?
What I think is abnormal about it is
No.
what she says, how it broke was like side to side to side. That's weird. You can't. That's weird.
That's weird as that. F and the whole nine, as these little youngins like to say.
Yeah, I would be really scared if I saw something like that.
And the bone like protruded. You know, he has short time with the freaking stripes all the way up to the knee. You remember?
I remember.
And just
to play up and down, all around, hit 'em up, baby.
Oh, listen, did I win? Did I win the background challenge?
I don't understand if there was a background challenge.
Was there?
Papa, because you were losing, Casper.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
3-piece painting.
Well, they're canvases of the ocean. There's a cute little backstory to it.
Did you paint them, or do you know who painted them?
Hey, look at Phil.
I don't know. Hello.
Hi, Phil. Who made it?
What's up?
Phil.
What's Diana? You cray.
We're gonna say hi to Phil. We love you, girl. Keep doing your thing. My regards to your tío.
My regards, he's passed, but I will send a message somehow.
Okay.
Christmas.
Phil.
He can't hear us.
Phil.
Phil is sitting there like he has no idea that we're watching him. What do I do here? Do I press the button here? Do I?
We can hear you.
Hi, Phil.
Okay.
Guys, these type of technical issues are out of my control. I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, I just want to say that someone, Isa Casiano de Maldi, wants to thank us for the positive thought and prayers last week.
That's Christina's mother.
Well, and the recovery is slow for sure, but they lost 11 pounds on a liquid diet. So
that's my suegra.
Huh?
That's Christina's mother.
Surgery recovery is slow. Nice.
Casper, I can't believe I caught that and you didn't.
I did, but I was trying to see where the hell Diana was going with his wacky stories. One wasn't paranormal, the other one was weird about the backstage. Oh, quenepas. I love your nuts.
Some people call them limoncillo, right?
Mm-hmm. Yo, Izzy is on.
I saw Izzy in the house. Izzy. Where's my boy Izzy? Saludo a Astrid Núñez también.
Izzy, what's up, man?
Somebody just said something about that we are old people and we're not technological.
Who said that? Hey,
Natasha.
Old people on technology. That's kind of true, though. I'm gonna have to agree.
It is true.
It's very.
I'm still learning a lot of stuff, to be honest with you.
I mean, everybody's constantly learning because it's constantly changing. I mean, Instagram just updated and added TikTok. And I'm like, wait, that can't be legal, man. They just straight up take other apps and just put it on their shit and it's okay. It's like, wait, that's not legal.
Phil.
That's how it rolls.
Phil.
I'm already see Phil está despierto. Look at Phil.
Papa.
Phil, he can't hear us.
Phil, do you hear us?
Can you see
us?
us?
Hear you.
I think he's searching the internet. He's not seeing. No, you should bring him back. That's funny.
I know. I don't know why he could. That is hysterical. Phil.
Let's just put him on as a silent. Look, he has a.
You're live. You're live, buddy.
No, I think he's searching the. I don't think he sees us. I think we're on a different page or something.
Yeah, I don't think we're his priority right now.
All right, Gustavo. Thank you, buddy. That's too funny. That Phil sitting there munching out, not knowing that we're even looking.
You know what you should do? You should call him and tell him that we're watching him eat. That's creepy.
That is too funny. Yo, what's up, Peter Cintron, my boy from South Bronx High School. Natasha Cintron. I don't believe they're related.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Peter?
What's up? To all of y'all clicking in here.
Yeah,
Jackie.
he couldn't see it. What's up?
What do we got on women's issues this week?
Well, the biggest, Kamala Harris, I think. That's a really
seriously, that is the talk right now.
Yeah, Black and Jamaican parents from Jamaica and India, both immigrants, you know, dark-skinned woman, VP, like Democrat. That's incredible.
And let me tell you something. Ya nosotros sabemos que Plástico 45 va a empezar a hablar mierda de ella. We know that.
Already has.
But let's also not forget that he did donate to her campaign for re-election for California Attorney General. And he donated about $6,000 to her back in 2014. So
nice.
I'm very curious to see what he's gonna say about that.
I didn't know that. I've already seen people commenting about her flip-flopping on her issues, blah, blah, blah. I think people have a right to change and grow. Like, what the hell? It's not flip-flopping. It's changing, and it's growing, and it's learning.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that they are discussing about her, too, about when she was a prosecutor, how a lot of people went to jail because for marijuana crimes, which at the end of the day, we all know that marijuana crimes are really bullshit. You know, they really are. But again, like you say, people do grow and they change positions, they change perspective. You know, I'm sure that the hate's gonna be real. So let's see. You know what? Well, we'll talk about that. Let's see if Phil has gotten a clue yet. And
Where's Phil?
Yeah, there we go. There goes Phil. Phil leading.
Can you see us yet?
It doesn't matter how much we wave.
What do you think about Kamala? No.
Really, Phil? You don't say. So what was that you were eating, Phil?
Un taco. I want some. Yum, yum.
Did you make that, Phil? Where are you, Phil?
Having a tough time.
You hear him?
He's talking to himself.
Oh, I would, oof. You might see me talking about some crazy, trying to sing. Oof. We don't want to see that.
So, Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie.
What?
Yeah. So, if Casper or myself were running for president, no. If you were running for president, Jackie.
Yes.
And you had to pick a running mate between me and Casper.
Easy.
What?
I said easy, you, because you would get me all of the celebrity votes because everybody loves you.
Okay.
You would easily get every celebrity vote. You get along with everybody. Everybody loves you. That's
Casper,
kind of the thing.
Casper, did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, Kat. Sorry.
That's okay. She said she's gonna milk you for your celebrity. I'm with it. She ain't saying nothing that I don't agree with.
Matt, what's the score, Matt? So Gary Sanchez just hit a home run.
It's chess.
Gary Sanchez just homered. Who's Gary Sanchez? Just so I know, because I don't know.
Baseball?
He's the catcher for the New York Yankees.
Oh, really? I thought, isn't it Gary Sanchez Productions like Will Ferrell?
Casper knows absolutely nothing about sports.
Okay.
Not even the Yankees?
You only know about Ouija boards.
Yeah.
Los Ouija boards. Ni eso. Okay,
that sounds like a Spanish group. Los Ouija boards. Esta noche, tocando en Copacabana. Los Ouija boards.
Okay, so I have a woman's issue. I have a question for you guys. Actually, it's more about a word. If a woman called either one of you sweet, would it be offensive? And if yes or no, why? Yes or no? Is sweet offensive for a man?
Casper?
No. I say you go. You answer that.
Oh,
I want you to take the lead on this.
I would be like, excuse me?
Why?
You know, that's like That's like that because I mean I wouldn't find it offensive, but that's like how do you do that? Look, it could be sweet, it could be well intended and stuff like that, but you know, I don't know. I wouldn't be offended by it as long as like the follow up wouldn't be like I'm moving in with you next week. That shit would work.
Oh, so the reason you're offended by sweet is because you misconstrue it to mean that somebody has feelings for you?
No,
I'm getting that, Jackie. That's what I'm getting because his answer was weird as shit. You know? It wasn't like no, I'm not offended. I'm not offended if somebody tells me I'm sweet. It means I'm a sweet person or that I'm sweet to them. I'm not gonna be like, why are you calling me sweet? I'm not sweet. You know that diabetics are gonna get mad at you. You know that's being going against diabetics because you know diabetics don't like sweets and you're discriminating. It's like it becomes weird. No, sweet is sweet. You know, she didn't say something like, "Yo, I like your ass." Or look at the way that walk of yours, you know, like old school Puerto Ricans with that. Tú con todas esas curvas, yo con estos frenos, mami. And I hear that shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Casper, because one of my friends called me sweet. A male called me a man. If a woman calls me sweet, it's a little different. But a man called me sweet, and I was kind of offended by it. And I don't know why I was offended. That's why I'm asking you guys. I'm like, why did I not like that? Oh, you're so sweet. And I was like, that's not me at all.
Wait. You held the door for someone, okay?
It's kind.
That's so sweet.
That's sweet. Sweet to me implies soft. And I'm from the hood. So if you call me soft, I don't know. Sweet is nice.
So what would you prefer to hear? Yo, thanks, dog.
Yeah, peace, son.
She's dope.
Thanks, dog.
I like her. She's honest. She's real. She's, you know, but sweet, it feels to me like a doormat. Like the girl that's the doormat, right? Isn't that like that's what I imagine?
I can understand where you're coming from. And yeah, from a female perspective, yeah, you know, it just sounds condescending, you know,
right.
or weak.
Right.
You know.
That's what it is. Condescending.
You know, it's not like you know, because you could find a better word. You could say, oh, she's strong, or she's witty, she's smart, you know, but she's sweet. I que chula, que this. And I get it. I mean, to me,
you call little girl, you know.
I get it.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me get my thought in it. Okay. So let me just explain something to you. Okay. Sometimes I think that we are so detached from emotionality sometimes that we become defensive and we get triggered. I know when someone is saying something that's really condescending, you know, and hell yeah, you speak up about that. But I think when somebody's just well-intended, you know, because it's nice when people show love, you know, and I don't mean physical love. I don't mean I got a crush on you love, like, you know, but just love in a general manner, you know, because I just find that we fucking lack so much of that nowadays.
Oh my God, don't even get me started down that path. I did a whole TED talk on technology and empathy. Like, I really do think that technology has not only interjected in our emotional into our emotional lives, but look at what it's done to politics. I mean, I'm sorry, but people do not know how to decipher fact from fucking fiction. And they're reading conspiracy theories like it's news. And it's like, oh my God, you're intelligent. How do you not know that this is not real? Like, it doesn't make sense. There needs to be some sort of way to bring humanity back down to earth. And I think the only way we can do that is we have to censor some things. We have to. We can't just let people run. But it's crazy because it's not happening everywhere. It's only happening in
Hold on. Like all this COVID shit is going on. I'll take it to that. All this COVID stuff is going on, and and there's like people left and right saying that they're losing their rights and stuff like that. Now you can't go into a store without a mask. All this stuff. All this crazy shit is going on. People feel that their rights are being taken away.
That's insane. It's insane. How can you claim that wearing a mask to keep yourself safe? It's to keep you safe too, you and others. How can
but they don't want to hear that. When we go to these public places, these establishments, these businesses, you have to have a dress code: shirt, shoes, pants, no service. They're only asking you to put on the mask to protect you and others, just to be on the safe side, just to go ahead and get rid of this pandemic that we're going through. But we're so self-centered and we're so selfish in America that it's the me thing. Well, no, you're imposing this on me, and then it's funny because honestly, it's more the conservatives, because I'm seeing this more from conservative than from liberals, if you want to get into the politics of it, because we're also my Second Amendment right. You can't infringe upon me wearing this mask. But they're the first ones to also say, hey, you can't have an abortion. We want to tell you what to do with your body.
Exactly.
Because the government should tell you when to have a baby or not, but you can't tell me when to have a
marry whoever you want to marry, because if it's not the type of love that I believe in or understand, then it's bad. And it's like, who are you to tell people what they can and can't do?
Right.
Their personal, emotional lives and in their own bodies. Putting something on your face that you can then take off does not infringe upon you in any way, shape, or form. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever at all, unfortunately.
I feel you.
What are you gonna do? I think it's funny because I saw what show was it? I don't remember what show it was, and it's gonna annoy me, but I think it was on my friend's social media somewhere, where they were talking about what leads to fascism, and one of the steps is to create distrust in news sources and media.
Absolutely.
You can create your own truth and find people to follow you blindly. And that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's going on right now with what we have in the White House. But yet, when you see the rhetoric on social media, they're always calling the left fascists and socialists. Oh, you guys want to be socialists. You want to be fascists. And it's like, wait a minute. So are we anti-fascism or are we fascists? Which one is it? You guys
fascists are totally different things.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I saw a video of some of the people that started Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
And they came out and said, we are trained Marxists.
Okay.
I don't get that. 2020, Marxism does not exist in this century, in this time.
Here's what I'll say about that. I feel like, theoretically, on paper, every type of government that we can think of sounds incredible. But you add the human element, and suddenly that type of government doesn't exist. Like, everything theoretically sounds wonderful. Socialism, communism, the idea that everybody's equal. It sounds wonderful. But when you really get down to it, it doesn't work that way, because humanity doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So that's how I view it. Like, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but ultimately people in power and up to the I think democracy is the best way to go, but I don't think
hold on. So when you say democracy is the best way to go, what is a democracy? In 2020, what is a democracy?
It should be that the people elect the people who rule, and the people are the ones who set into place the rules. But that's not what's happening, because we're being stifled. Everything's about we actually are being controlled by an oligarchy. Just a small amount of rich people that are running everything. That's pretty much it's not a democracy.
I feel you guys on that, and I want to kind of move ahead because we do have a lot of other things going on in the show. I appreciate
Casper telling us, "Cállate ya."
No, I appreciate that. And this conversation we could have for fucking 7 hours.
We'll be right back. Our intern bit into a Hot Pocket right out of the microwave, so we have to take him to the burn unit. In the meantime, enjoy this.
Want to stay safe from COVID-19? Of course you do. Introducing the Sanitizing Tunnel, the portable tunnel that you walk through and it douses you with powerful chemicals to sanitize you.
I've been waiting for this all day long.
Through the tunnel first.
Okay.
Ow! My eyes! Ow!
Yes, the Sanitizing Tunnel will make sure that you stay safe from coronavirus.
Kids, you've been late 6 times in the last month. I'm afraid I have to...
Sir, can you walk through the tunnel first?
Right, of course. Oh, my eyes! Oh, Jenkins! Oh, my eyes, Jenkins! I'm sorry for anything I've ever done to you!
So stay sanitized and safe with the Sanitizing Tunnel. Available now.
I'm coming right back with the Luis Guzman and Casper Martinez show. More to come, more to come, more to come. Mira, ya viene.
One of them is famous. The other one is only known by his mother. The Luis Guzman and Casper Martinez show.
Tonight we have a good friend of ours because he is a family, a friend of the family here at the show. I want to bring on, the guy is a musician, an author, a filmmaker, our brother from another mother. Yo quiero presentarlo como Dito Montiel is in the house. You love that?
Let me tell you, Louis, I wanted to wear my I Love Louis Guzman shirt. I can't find it.
Oh, no.
Where's mine? He was.
I gotta send you another one.
That's a special edition I have, man.
Yeah, baby. How are you, man?
How are you guys, man? Good to see everybody.
We're here.
I got to tell Casper and Jackie. So the first time that I found out about Dito, and I was watching this movie called A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints.
One of my favorite movies.
And man,
bullshit. That is the truth.
Let me tell you something. The cast was outrageous in that movie. You know, outrageous. But man, that story, and you wrote it. You wrote it. You directed it.
Wasn't it your first feature? Like that was your for a
and
first.
The second one, I got to work with Louis, and my one of my favorite stories is I was going to meet you, Louis. I don't know if you remember the first time ever. I saw Casper first, and I'm checking the address down by. I don't want to give your address away, but but I'm like, wait a second, like I have family in the projects over there, and I'm like, Louis doesn't live in the projects, no way. And I'm showing up, and I'm like, damn, we're getting really close. And then I'm like, I'll ring the bell. I know I'm in the wrong place. And Casper's like, come on up. I'm like, no, you'll get 5 bedrooms downtown easily, man. That was a big place you have.
Right on.
Yep.
Anyway, good to see you all, man.
Yeah. How you doing, brother? How you been holding up?
You know, it's crazy. The world has gone bananas, man. I can't keep up with it. But hopefully it's back to some kind of normalcy at some point. A good start yesterday, in my opinion. At least. But,
Yeah. Good news. Good news is always a nice start.
I'll take what you can get, you know.
Exactly. I want to piggyback on what Louis said really quickly. I just want to go back to this real quick. A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints. I'm going to say it's the only film to this day that I've seen that portrays the New York that I know the way that New York is. Like, it was so authentic that it made me want to cry. I was like, oh my God, that's New York. I've never really seen it portrayed properly. That's New York. Anyway, I'm just praising you.
Well, it was fun. Yeah.
I love that movie.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we dealt with a lot of crazy people, that's for sure. But everybody here knows that deal. So
you know what's interesting about that movie? You made a lot of careers.
Yeah.
For people out of that one movie.
They gave me a shot, so I was happy, you know. And it's one of those things like I'm always the worst. I'll be like, oh, you know, because I know everybody. Like, I mean, sorry to be a fan here, but to meet Luis Guzman, to me, it's like, yo, Carlito's Way. Like, to me, my favorite movie ever. Like, ever. You
heard that, Casper?
I mean, literally. I mean, I just, that movie just kills me. So it's like, so every time I'm gonna meet an actor, like, to me,
until I get to know them a little. Like they're the people from the movie, so I'm always like,
right.
You know?
I'm gonna go meet Pachanga now. Damn. No, and I remember that day because you had told us that when you were in the apartment, you said that you had some family that lived like right around the block or
right
so.
there. Yeah, my nieces and you know, like they were like,
Yeah,
oh,
he's
walking around here.
Yeah, I run into your niece. You remember me, right?
Yeah, I hear about it every time.
You know?
I think because you know you ran into her. I know you ran into her because she tells me.
Yeah, so bro, let me ask you. So, what was it like for you directing that movie? What was the experience like?
It was nuts, man. But it's always nuts. I mean, like to be honest, I'll tell you, like I wrote that book on napkins. You know, like everybody writes dumb little ideas, and then you throw it out in the morning, and then. I mean, a long story short, I had like nowhere to live. And they just made a documentary about this guy that let me stay at his place called Who the Fuck Is That Guy? Sorry. The story of Michael Alago. This guy who lived downtown and he let me stay at his place because he was dealing with some stuff and he had to go away and I had nowhere to live. And my friend bought a notebook and he's like, you write your story in there, I'll write mine. And finally I had something that I wouldn't throw out in the morning. So I started writing and then like I got to like page 10. And I had a book since I'm a kid called The Picture Book of Saints, you know, and each page had a picture of a saint and like then under it how they became a saint. And so I thought, well, that's a good way to cheat, you know. So I would put a picture of somebody and then I would write and that was easy for me, like not too much work. And then I got to page 10 and I was like, how long are books, you know? And so I saw a book and it was 200 pages. I'm like, okay. I'm like a 20th of the way there. I'll keep going. And then with movies, it was a similar thing. I mean, the long, crazy story was I was working. I got a job out in California working at a music studio. And Robert Downey was making a record there. and he would come in and out. And my boss was really cool. And the book had just come out, you know, and nobody read it. I mean, if 10 people read it, I would be shocked. And my boss was like, Robert, you need to do a movie with this guy. And I'm like, yeah, you know, and then so he brought down Trudy Styler. I mean, it's a crazy story, but
I want to hear it. Share it, brother. Share it.
Sting, you know, the singer Sting and his wife Trudy, they produced a bunch of independent movies, and Robert was like, let's make a movie together. And he's like, can you go to lunch? And I'm like, yeah. So like I go to lunch with Sting and Trudy and Robert Downey. It's pretty good lunch for me at that junkie. I was in the dope room, man, you know. And then the Trudy was really cool, and she's like, "Hey, we really like your book, and we're gonna get these writers to write it." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And I'm like, "You know, I thought maybe I could do it, you know." And she's like, "Well, let's give them a chance first, and you know, and then if it's not good, you can get it." And I was like, "Oh, I know this thing. I'm never gonna get a shot." And she's like, "They're finishing up another movie now. They just made that movie with Ben Kingsley where he's yelling. No, I can't remember the name of it.
Sexy Beast, was it?
Yes, Sexy Beast.
Okay.
And she said they can't write it for. They're going to start in 2 months. So in my mind, I had 2 months. So I started writing.
Oh wow!
I literally took a script because I know that they like the script called The United States of Leland. So I bought it out here in Los Angeles, and I was copying in Microsoft Word how, you know, everything that it did, I was doing it, but putting in my people. Mm-hmm. And then I thought INT meant introducing, you know, it's like interior. And I'm like, why do they keep introducing this street? They introduced the street 6 times. Well, okay, whatever. And then EXT, exterior, I thought it meant exiting. And I'm like, how do you exit a street? This is ridiculous, you know? And then Robert was making his record and he'd come in and out. And I'm like, hey, man, can I ask you a question? And he's not Iron Man Robert at the time, you know? Yeah. He was the real deal, Robert. I mean, he still is the real deal, but he was the real deal. And so I was like, yo, man, what is this introducing? He's like, that's interior. I'm like, oh. And he's like, EXT, exterior. So that was my first lesson. And then I was lucky enough that they gave me a shot to write it. And then somebody started I mean, this is like Mr. Magoo stuff, man. It doesn't even make sense. It started getting passed around. Different people liked it. And then I got a call from Michelle Satter from Sundance. And anybody out there that's a writer should definitely submit a script to Sundance.
I know Sundance very well, yeah.
It's a great opportunity that I didn't even know existed. and she called and she's like, "Hey, we like your script." And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yes, someone." And I'm thinking, and it had my real name Orlando on it because I was embarrassed that the character had my name, and my nickname. And she's like, "Well, we have a thing called the Labs." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, Sundance. I heard of you guys, but we didn't make a movie." She goes, "No, it's the Labs." And I'm like, and then she told me, and I'm like, "How much is it?" And she's like, "It's free." And I'm like, "All right, where is it?" And she's like, "In Utah." I'm like, "How do I get there?" And she's like, "We fly you there." I was like, "Look, let me call you back." I thought it was like a Learning Annex scam, So then I called up Trudy, and I'm like, "Hey, I got this weird call from this Michelle Satter lady." And she's like, "You better call her back," And so I luckily got to go there. And then like Carlos Cardone, who wrote Y Tu Mama Tambien, and Walter Mosley and Frank Pearson, who wrote Dog Day Afternoon, they were like my mentors there. Wow. And I'm like, you wrote Dog Day Afternoon, I'm going to do whatever you say. And so then I got to go through a really crazy school. And then the next thing was like, you want to try and see if you can make this. And I'm like, yeah, I think we figure it out. So, it's crazy.
That's an incredible story. Like,
yes,
how far along was Sundance at the time? How far along were the Sundance Labs? Was it like early in the?
Well, it was like 2000. It was like 2005, 2000, something like So it had been around, I think, since maybe even the 70s. I don't know how long.
Oh wow!
I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I'll tell you right now, it's a really great thing for any writer out there. And I could tell. I used to think the only way you could get into this business is if somehow you're mowing Robert Redford's lawn. He was a typewriter mechanic. So I'm here. I'm proof you could sneak in,
Yeah, man. That's
I love Louis' story because I remember the first thing I got to hear from Louis was how you were like walking down the street and you ran into a friend. So it is real that this craziness can happen.
It's very real.
Yeah.
So what was the first day of shooting for you like on that? Like your first day of shooting?
Bananas, man. It was like, it was all crazy, like I'll tell you a funny thing was, Chaz Palminteri was like a dream because he's the nicest guy ever and a good person. And we were doing this scene the first day, right? If you watch the movie, it's really funny if you know this, but like we're doing the scene and it was the father, Chaz, and Diane Wiest is in the scene, and Shia and Melanie Diaz and Julia Garro, and then Channing is hanging out, right? And it's the first day we're filming, right? The first scene, and it's a really
Channing Tatum, just for people who don't know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy, yeah. And so we're filming the scene, and I'm totally freaked out, and it's a really heavy scene, like the father has a seizure and all hell breaks loose, right? So Channing's hanging out, and I'm like, go be in the scene. And he's like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, I don't know, just hang around. And I thought, well, it's heavy. Let's see what goes on. And the DP, I was lucky, was this Eric Gauthier, who's just really great. And he doesn't want to watch rehearsals. He doesn't believe in marks. And I was happy with that because I had no idea how to put marks down. So he just hung out, and we were like, okay. So Channing was like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, well, when the father has a seizure, would I cry? And I'm like, look, I don't know. But if I'm thinking of the person I wrote, he'd want to kill somebody, And he's like, what do you mean? I go, just fucking kill somebody. Like the nerve of him to have a seizure on you. He's your last hope. And so Channing says, who am I going to kill? And I was thinking, well, if I say Shia, I'm afraid he might actually kill Shia. Like, kill Diane Wiest. I felt like there's no way he's going to go there. So he's like, okay. So we start doing the scene, and it was the first take, and we're rolling, and we're kind of just figuring it out. But Eric wanted to film. So we start rolling, and everyone's talking to me while we're doing it. And I'm like, so, it's getting heavy, and Chaz is starting to really, he's really going for it. And it was really hard to be in that room. It's uncomfortable. And Channing, he's yelling like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he's getting really furious. And I'm like, kill somebody. And he's like, who? And I'm like, kill fucking Diane Wiest. And he picks up a table and he throws it at her. And he smashes the glass. And I mean, if you see it, that's the whole take. We used it. It was unbelievable. And the glass smashes. And of course, it's not breakaway glass. Everything was real. And she's coming out barefoot and she's cutting her feet. And I'm like, I thought it was the greatest thing I ever saw, right? Because I have no idea. It just looked chaotic. And at the end of the scene, we rolled until the camera ran out, and I thought, oh my God, that was great. And then the producers come running out, and they're like, what the hell's the matter with you? And I'm like, huh? And then one of them grabbed Channing, you know? And I say this story because it was just a miracle of filmmaking. Sometimes it happens. They grab Channing, and they're like, you were not, you know, that was not safe, what you just did with Diane Wiest. And Chaz grabs the producer. And he's like, you don't touch this kid. It was his fault. So what was perfect about it, I mean, you know, knowing the film, and it was really, I wouldn't suggest that this works twice. It's like Daffy Duck. You get one shot at this craziness. But what worked was the father's role always protected the role that Channing played. And in the scene, when he grabbed the guy and said, you leave this kid alone. And then Shia, who was the kid that was neglected, he just stood there kind of like, what's going on here? And then Diane Wiest, who the mother was always afraid in a way of the character of Antonio, which is what Channing played. She comes over to me and she goes, I don't feel safe in the room with that guy. And then Melanie was like, I need to step out for a minute. And I was thinking, damn, this is all falling into line.
Movement, man. That's incredible.
I know, and it's so funny. Of course, then they complain that the glass is broken and we can't repair it. But luckily, we did only one more take because we couldn't shoot that direction again. But it's almost so that's why when the glass breaks, if you see that scene again, you'll see the glass breaks, and Diane Wiest is pretty freaked out. They're great actors. None of them needed this, but that was fun, you know.
But it worked. It worked.
And that was your first day?
That was the first shoot. That was the first scene. So it was up and running.
That's a really big thing to happen on the first.
That was pretty nuts. Yeah.
Signs of what was coming.
I gotta tell you, brother, when watching that movie, it was the most natural acting. I'm like saying to myself, who the fuck directed this, man? This guy is brilliant, you know? And
it reminded me a lot of that book you brought to me that time to read. I love that book. Remember we met at that weird tea house out in Los Angeles? The guy who's always up on his roof?
The guy that's always, damn, what book was that?
He gave me a book, and it just felt so real. I never read New York stories that felt so...
What, Bodega Dreams?
I was going to say, was it Ernesto Quiñones' Bodega's Dream?
Yeah, I love that book. That was a great book. Yeah.
Right on.
So
I gotta tell you, so the first time that I met you, right?
Yeah.
Was when you came over to the apartment.
Uh-huh.
And you know, at that point I had agreed, you know, I think we were talking about fighting and stuff. And I showed up on set, and you were like so different from all the directors I ever worked with, you know, in the sense, and I had to get used to this with you, because it's like, you know how some directors, they have like they have a storyboard, or they have a map of how they're going to shoot, you know. I always notice with you always have the idea in your head, you know.
Yeah. Well, you give me a lot of credit. But yeah,
you know what I mean?
In there, but yeah, but you know, it's so funny, Louis, because I tell you, I'm such a fan, and I can talk about Carlito's Way like all day. And I always joke about people because they'll be like, whenever I meet a cinematographer about a movie, they'll be like, "Do you want to do storyboards?" And I go, "Listen, I wish I had Brian De Palma's talent. I don't know what a room looks like until I step into it, you know." And I know from what I know about him, and I don't know him, I'm just a fan, is he's very calculated, right? It's like, I don't know how he's so good, because I feel like he's very much like hit that line and do your thing. I mean, you could probably tell us much more about that, but I'm always like, I wish I had that kind of talent. I'm more like, okay, run around in this area and try and say your lines. Try not to kill anybody, but if you do, make sure it's on camera, because that would really suck if you die off camera.
Well, I tell you,
you're right about that.
One day we're shooting this scene, and it's myself and Terrence Howard, and we walk into the room, and there's a fight is about to go down, right?
Right.
So we just show up to the room, the fight goes on, the fight happens, and then we leave, right?
Right.
So me and Terrence were hanging out. Oh, bro, we're gonna have a short day. They said short day. Okay, we'll see about that. So we go in. I think we rehearse, and I'm looking over at the DP, and he's like, "Yeah, this is gonna be easy." And it's like, "Okay, we'll probably shoot you guys out first." Like, oh, okay, cool. You know, so they shoot us coming in. They get all that, and then me and Terrence are getting ready to shoot the end of the scene. Dito decides, okay, now we're gonna shoot the fight, and the DP and me and Terrence are like, dude, but you got us right here. Just 4 hours later. Yeah.
I'm sure I heard about it from Terrence quite a bit, knowing him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you know what, bro? It's like you always showed up with a wonderful energy about yourself. And you always had an enthusiasm, for what you were doing and stuff like that. I got that about you. And I always appreciated that about you. I thought, you still have that same energy right now.
Oh, well.
Very humble, extremely humble.
Well, it's a pretty, I used to work walking dogs, selling peanuts on 42nd Street, handing out flyers, unloading trucks. I'll take this gig. But not that I didn't love those jobs too. It's strangely sometimes I miss them. But we're all from similar worlds, so it's kind of
the blue collar guys.
Yeah, and it's crazy, but I'm in awe of acting. Like, I love it so much. I wish I could do it, but I have a heart attack with the camera on me. But I really love watching it. So to me,
I can help you through that, Dito. I can help you through that.
But let me tell you, watching acting to me is like, sometimes I'll be like, can we do it again? Not because I need it again, just because that was really fun, man. You guys are good. I get lost in the moment, I'll tell you, I love a fun thing that happened on Fighting that was funny when you guys were all in the fight in the place in Brooklyn. We were in Brighton Beach, and another actor I love is Roger Guinevere Smith. I just love him, and he's like a kind of devilishly great actor, and
he's very intense. I love him.
He's intense, and him and Terrence had like a little weird, I don't know, I could feel a little vibe out there going, so Roger's always like prepared to some weird extent of a scene that I'm not prepared for. And I love it. So they had a scene and they're in a place with a lot of Russian people. So Terrence comes walking out and Roger decides to speak Russian to him. He's like, Nostrovia or something like that. And I could tell, Terrence wasn't kind of loving that, So we were done with the day and Terrence comes over and he goes, I'm gonna be ready for him tomorrow. I said, okay. So the next day, Terrence's character's name is Harvey, and Terrence comes walking out. And we're doing the same kind of scene, and Roger says to him, Nostrovia, and Terrence answers him in Russian. And Roger doesn't miss a beat. Roger goes, Harvey got Google.
Oh, shit.
He was ready at all times. So I just enjoy watching the match.
Hey, Dio, can you tell us a little bit about your dad? Because I know your dad's a huge influence on you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my father, he's from Nicaragua, Managua. Came here on a boat way back, and he was a boxer. He fought with Sugar Ray Robinson, but back then he was a flyweight, which I think it was 115, which I don't know how a human being weighs 115, but he was a little guy, and he was just a typewriter mechanic, the nicest, humblest person I ever knew. I never even knew he was a Golden Gloves boxer. He didn't talk about the past. He's a pretty funny guy in that sense. Everything was in the now. And somebody recently sent me a picture of him fighting at this huge arena. And I was like, oh my God, like I wish he even told me that when he was alive, but he would never. So yeah, he was just an incredible guy. And funny, my nieces who live by you, they just adored him like we all did. And just the real deal. But he was that old school where he just was very happy to be here in America and refused to teach me Spanish growing up. It was that sort of mentality that, you know, you don't hear about a lot in the world. You know, it's sort of like, no, we're here now, you know? So I was like, on his side of the family, I was Casper. Funny enough, I know my name is Casper, but they called me Casper for other reasons, you know, the ghost, you know? But I always would be like, Monty, like, you know, can you teach? No, speak English, you know? So I can understand, I can speak a little bit, but I'm still self-conscious because he put this thing in my head. So it's a new world now, and he probably would really appreciate it. But I think he grew up in a different sort of time, you know?
So how much of Fighting and A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, how much of those are based on real life?
Well, Fighting was a movie before I was a part of it. It was a movie about basketball, funny enough. And Channing called me up and he said, hey, man, I got this script about basketball and I don't like it. Will you do a pass and make it about? And I read it and I said, and he's like, I don't even play basketball. I said, you don't play basketball? So I said, so I called up the producers and I said, listen, man, you could fake a French accent quicker than you could fake a dribble. And this guy doesn't want to do a basketball movie. He wants to do it about fighting. So they were like, make it about fighting. So I just took little bits and pieces and I just had this thing. And, you know, it's weird. When I read the old draft, I read this thing that didn't even exist in it. I thought it was in there that I love the character's name, Harvey. And I pictured, for some reason, I thought that there was a scene where he was cutting through a hotel in Midtown Manhattan. And I thought he like stole some food. You know how people will leave food by their door. I thought he took some and he started eating it. I probably dreamt it, but I loved him because of that. Like I thought, oh, he's kind of like a Midnight Cowboy guy, you know? So in my mind, I wanted to make Midnight Cowboy, but damn, I got to put these fights in it, you know?
Right.
So,
let me ask you, Dito.
Yeah.
You got to work with Robin Williams, I believe, in his last movie, Boulevard. I mean, tell us a little about that experience. And then after that, I want to speak about Critical Thinking, which is a project that you...
with John,
Yep. All right. So tell me a little about Boulevard and the experience with Robin Williams and how was it? Because Robin Williams, to me, he's one of my favorite comics. I grew up with Robin Williams from Mark and Mindy throughout his career, you know, so...
Well, he's a deal, man. It's beyond a heartbreaking story, but you know, and you're funny. You mentioned Mark and Mindy. It's like we were filming in Nashville, and we would take a walk at like 1 a.m. because you know we're filming all night, and someone yells at Mark, and he'd be like, "How do these people know Mark? How old are these people?" Mark, you know, it's like somehow Mark existed forever, you know. But he was just incredible. I mean, it was crazy. That was the script this guy wrote, and it was his first script ever. And he was 70 years old. He was 65 years old. His first script for a movie. And I read it, and I just was brokenhearted because it was about a guy who was married for 40 years, you know, 40-something years, and he's gay, and he didn't want to tell his wife, so they just became best friends. And then in the end, he comes out, and it was just a really odd film because I just loved making that movie so much because what's really, I mean, there's so many stories, but try and keep them down. but he, it was just about that, you know. So I'll tell you something, just the craziness of movie making. Okay, so we're filming that movie in Nashville, right? And we're looking for the perfect house, and the movie is about, you know, a husband and wife, and they sleep in separate bedrooms and all this stuff. So we find this perfect house where the camera can move around in it, and we're like, oh, this is great, you know. And the woman, the actress in the movie is Kathy Baker, right? So we're in the house, and the woman looks just like Kathy Baker, right? And so she says, oh, I heard Kathy Baker's in this movie. And I said, yeah. She goes, everyone says I look like her. And Kathy Baker isn't the most known actress. Like, she's known, but it's odd. And I'm like, she really does look like her. And then she goes, who's the actor? And I said, Robin Williams. She goes, oh my God, my husband looks like him. Listen, I'm going to email you guys the picture of the four of them.
You have to, bro.
You're not going to believe it. Okay?
Oh, wow.
They look exactly. I have a picture of the four of them together, right? So then she goes, oh my God, my husband looks just like him, right? So then I'm like, okay. So then she goes, what's the movie about? And then, you know, I'm worried because, you know,
the subject matter. Yeah, sure.
People are like, you're not going to film here. I wanted the house. So I'm like, oh, it's just about a marriage, you know? So she's like, okay. So we get the house and we're setting up to film. And the second day she comes walking up to me and she's crying. And she's like, I read the script. And I said, yeah. And when I'm looking at the house, I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. She's like, you know, because I'm looking and there's 2 bedrooms, but it's only the 2 of them. She goes, yeah, my husband has a separate bedroom. Like, this place is incredible. And, her room was exactly as the script was written, like all these books.
Oh, wow.
It was like, you couldn't ask for better.
Dude, that's creepy, but awesome at the same time.
Then she comes to me and she's crying and she's like, I read the script. And she goes, my husband, he came out last year and we decided to stay together. And that's why we have separate bedrooms. So we want you to film here. Can we just have one request? And I'm like, sure. And she goes, can we be here when they have the scene where they come out to each other? So I'm like, okay, so I tell Robin, and so we're filming the scene, and that's a really heavy scene between Robin and Kathy, and they're really going at it. And while they're going at it, I look, and in the monitors, the husband and wife are crying with headphones on. And then Robin comes over to me and he goes, dude, this is getting too freaky for even me. So,
that is freaky.
That's
very
pretty
freaky.
Yeah. It was but it was a dream to work with him. I love that guy so much. I can't even tell. I mean, I really, really love that guy. And one of the things, and I feel about generous actors, and Louis being one of them, and I've been lucky to work with so many. I hear bad stories sometimes about different people, and I've been really lucky. I'm no kiss ass, but I could tell you I've been really lucky to not meet the real pains in the ass ones, at least not for me.
The dicks in the business, you could say it. It's okay.
They're out there. Hey, I know. But, all I can say is that the last day of filming, me and Robin are in Nashville at 1 a.m. They do lunch at midnight when you're shooting all night, whatever. And he's like, I can't get this scene. I need to do it. Will you take a walk with me? And I'm walking through the middle of nowhere with him at 12:30 at night in Nashville. And I'm thinking, I can't believe this guy. He's got every award. Everybody loves him. He goes to the supermarket at 4 a.m. People tell you that, and he's worried about this scene. How that is so impressive to me. Look at you.
No, he's committed, totally committed.
The real,
That's what makes him so good.
Robin. I did a movie with Robin called Cadillac Man.
I love that movie. Of course.
Yeah. And it was maybe my 3rd or 4th project into my career. Right. And I have met Robin a few more times. And he was the most loving. Yeah. He would embrace you, And I was in Hawaii doing a movie, and his comedy, he did his comedy. He was touring, and he was doing a show, and so, somehow we got his manager and said, "Yo, Louis Guzman," and I hooked it up. Met Robin after the show, and he was, so beautiful and stuff like that, and
he's on.
Yeah, he's always on,
Heck yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I did another movie. I don't want to talk about it. Robin was in it, but I saw for the first time how Robin turned off. Because I saw that he had things on his mind. But he wouldn't let that overwhelm him, because he would come out of that and hey, but he was human. He was very, very human. And man, you and I, Dito, are so fortunate to have been able to share the same air with him.
I tell you, that when I heard the news, I had spoken to him 4 days before, because he had come to see the movie and he loved it so much, and he was just. It's just kind of those, but it goes to the power of that pain that people go through, because I've heard people say, and I'm sure you all do too, it's screw him, he had everything. And I think, yeah, he had everything, and it still was that much more powerful. That's how powerful this stuff is. So to me, it's more empathetic. I thought, my God, like I said, I don't know many people in the world, no matter how much you're loved, there might be some people who don't like you. I'm like, every generation grew up with a different Robin Williams.
Right.
And he loved that guy. So that's how powerful that thing was. So it was really heartbreaking to hear that stuff. But
yeah, it's interesting, because the day that happened, I had just landed from Paris and at JFK.
Right.
I was going through immigration and customs, and when I finally was able to get out and turn my phone on, I started getting a whole slew of messages from people
Crazy.
And the message was Robin's gone, and I'm like, what's this? You know,
too much.
I called my son Semi because he was waiting for me in the apartment downtown, and he said, "Yo, Pop, Robin's gone." So I thought like something, you know, and the sadness of it all was that to find out that he committed suicide, you know, and you know, look, you know, and I don't mean to go into this, but I do mean to go into this.
Absolutely.
You know, but you know, it's like you got to be brave to do something like that. You got not only brave, man, but your pain. And you know, another guy that I knew that was Tony Scott. You know,
right?
And
Yes.
Tony Scott was like phenomenal, and we were going to be doing another movie together. You know, but I guess the reason I'm bringing this up that anybody out there that's checking us out right now, if you're going through stuff, you know, reach out to somebody in your family and stuff like that. Talk about it, you know, get help, you know, because like, you know, we're all human. At the end of the day, we are all human. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how many accolades you have,
right.
or not having nothing. We're human.
Yep.
You know?
I mean, he's proof of that. That's for sure. Yeah.
You know, so
pain is real, whether you're rich and famous or broke and lonely.
You love Bob Ross's The Joy of Painting. Well, now we've made his amazing archive available to you. Learn how to paint countless works of art, like a farm.
Let's just put a happy little cloud right here.
A gorgeous mountain range.
Let's just put a happy little cloud right here.
Even a complex painting of the cosmos.
Let's just put a happy little cloud right here over this happy big cloud.
Over 7,000 hours of The Joy of Painting from Bob Ross. Available now.
Hey, Matt, you like what you're listening to? We'll be right back after this.
He only speaks to his family on Zoom. When somebody coughs, he calls the police. When he goes to the grocery store, he wears a full hazmat suit. He wears a mask during lovemaking, again via Zoom. He is the most socially distanced man in the world.
I don't always social distance. Just kidding. Yes, I do. Stay apart, my friends.
One was a social worker. The other one used to sell beepers. The Luis Guzman and Casper Martinez Show.
Dito, what's this? What's this, bro?
Uh-oh.
What is that? I don't know. Looks like a nut? An acorn? Whoa. What is that? A fig?
It's called a quenepa.
I don't know what that is. But I thought it was an acorn. I thought you cracked it that easy.
It looks like a nut, but it's kind of like a mini mango, if there's any way to describe it, because it has a pit and everything else is just like the texture of a mango, sweet. You suck on it, and Louis likes to suck on balls while we're doing the show, so you know, I love that about him. I wanted to talk to you a little about critical thinking. John Leguizamo directing.
But I'm going to leave you with one great Robin Williams, because let's.
Oh yes, please, dude.
Here's a funny thing. So we're in this house filming, and you know it's all about the guy coming out, and we're in the house where the guy came out to his wife, and now he's out, and the guy has leather chaps hanging up, like literally, just It happened to be just hanging and walking by, and Robin's walking by. He looks at me, goes, "You think that would have been a giveaway?" I had to just leave.
Like, I'm not sure, honey, but I think there's something going on here. but like I was saying, critical thinking. Leguizamo's directing. He plays Mario Martinez, the school teacher. It's 1998 Miami. He's got these kids who are going to go to this chess championship. How did you get involved with that project? It feels like a Lean on Me, a Freedom Writers. You know, one of those. Stand By Me. No, not Stand By Me. Stand and Deliver. Stand and Deliver. With Edward James Olmos, one of those.
You know, I tried to get him to play the father in Saints, Edward James Olmos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, he was on something else, but I'm a big fan of his. Yeah, but yeah. Listen, I wish I had normal stories. This one is nuts. but the big on it was this woman, Carla. And man, she's like a fighter. Like I have not met very many in this business. Maybe because she has never made a movie before, but I got this call that they want to do this movie about these kids back in the 80s that were playing chess. And I'm like, listen, I got to Google chess. Like, I don't even know what the hell's going on. Like checkers is tough enough for me, you know? But I went down and I got to meet, they live in Miami-Dade, which has been going through its own craziness the last couple of months with COVID and everything. It's hard times. Pretty beautiful, rough neighborhood, you know? So I met these guys and, you know, they were kids in the 80s and they were just great. And they're all hanging out together, you know? So I got to meet them and they brought me down to like this park there. I can't remember the name of the park, but it was like, I never saw anything like it. It's like Chess Park, man. Like it's the real deal. So I was like, this could be fun, you know? But I thought in my heart, I thought no one on earth is ever going to make this movie because, you know, the truth is I've been in so many closed door meetings that say out loud what people won't say out loud. And, you know, like, let's put this guy in the movie. Well, you know, foreign financing, which means it's a very nice way of, you know, then they'll up the game. Well, a little urban. And you get kind of tired of these terms. You all hear them. And you probably don't hear them as many times as they're said. I could promise you that. I've been in those meetings, and they're really kind of heartbreaking. And it's funny with John. I'd met John 3 times in the past about movies, and then I would leave, and I love him, and I'd say, "Oh my God, he wants to do it," and they'd be like, "Well, you know, foreign." I'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, "Don't make me meet these people," and then I have to, you know. And what's funny is John is friends with a friend of mine in New York. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I told John I'm your friend." And he was like, "Ah, that guy, I meet him all the time. He never puts me in his movies." And I'm like, damn, you know. So when I first started writing this, his name came up. And I said, listen, I've been in these meetings so many times. You want to write an authentic movie about this neighborhood, you got to put the real people in it. And either you're going to make this movie or you're not. And, you know, it's a real... I'm not even going with whatever the climate is out there. This is the truth, and it's the climate that's been there for a long time. They don't want to put a lot of people in movies that they should for really ridiculous reasons. Not one to even say that the movie will be successful. On top of that, I mean, I know, Louis, you did your movie Puerto Ricans in Paris. That proved that pretty quickly. But for some reason, people want to say, oh, you know, and they look for all the right... synonyms.
Right. To bullshit you
yeah.
At the end of the day, you know.
And it's a real drag, but it's a true thing. And it's the way it goes out there, and it's a real drag. And, you know, at the same time, you're asking this guy to put a bunch of money in a movie, and they say, well, I got to get my money back. And it's always a fight. But the lucky thing with this movie was the woman that wanted to do it, she knew from the beginning. I was like, listen, I'll get involved with this, but I'm going to write the characters who they are. I'm not going to suddenly change them. And she's like, no, we're going to make this for real. So I thought, okay, I'll stick with this as long as it'll go and it'll never happen. I hate to say that, but I didn't believe it would. You know, I lost faith. And then I got to meet John, and she says, well, will you meet John Leguizamo about this? He'd be perfect. And I said, look, I ain't meeting him unless you swear. I can walk into that meeting and I say, John, if you want this, it's yours. I'm done with these dumb meetings where I go here and then these financiers, you know.
Thank you for speaking up. Thank you.
It isn't. I wish I did it more, and I wish I had enough power that I could fight more. You know, I do what I can, but unfortunately, it's not much. You know, I wish I was, you know, Chris Nolan. You know, I unfortunately, you know, I like to fight a little too much sometimes. But luckily, when I got to meet John, I walked in and I go, hey, John, man, look, I'm sorry I met you those other times. All I want to say is if you like this, it's yours, you know. And I'll be even one step further, man, is I know you like to direct, and I'm not sure this is the movie for me to direct, but if you want to direct it, I think they would let you direct it. And he's like, for real? I said, I just hope this makes up for our other meetings, you know. And then he read it, and he called me up like a few days later, and he goes, you really okay? You know, first of all, I want to be in it. And I said, great. And he goes, and were you serious about the directing thing? I said, hell yeah, I'll fight for you to direct. And he's like, okay. And I called up Carla, and I'm like, listen, I got, in my opinion, really good news for you. not only does John want to be in the movie, he wants to direct it. And she's like, great. About me in about 3 seconds. And I was happy to step back. And like John took that torch. And I tell you, you talk about someone that's a fighter. He took that thing, and he by his work, he don't mess around. You know what I mean? And he's in a position of power that he can lay down the law. And he said, basically, we're going to do this my way. We're putting in real kids. We're putting in the kids that are written into this script. We're not changing them, And I was the skeptic, I'm guilty. I was like, man, John, good luck, man. I got your back, but good for you. And he did it. So all praise to that guy and Carla, because let me tell you, they fought tooth and nail and they made it. And an original producer who brought me in, I called him up about 6 months ago, and I'm like, hey, man, Critical Thinking got made. And he's like, no. And I'm like, not only did it get made, it's like in festivals and it's coming out. And he's like, what? So, it takes, it's like selling a house. It's worth what the buyer will pay. So if you don't find the person that wants to put the right people in your movie, someone else will do it. Maybe you have to bring the budget down, unfortunately, but maybe that's the right thing. It doesn't make sense to me. And again, I'm really, you can talk about it now, or I'm going to bug you about it off the air, Louis, because I'm always interested in your Puerto Ricans in Paris thing, because I know that couldn't have been an easy thing.
Well, let me tell you how. See, what happened was my co-star Eddie Garcia has a dear friend, and he basically gave us a little more than $1 million. He wrote a check, and he said, "Go do a movie."
Wow, that's a good.
So we had the money before we even had the script or the director or anything like that, And so I reached out to Ian Edelman because we had worked with Ian on how to make it in America.
Right.
So we put it all together, and he wrote the script. We would give him ideas and stuff like that. And we went to Prague, we went to Paris, we went to New York. We shot that movie for like 1.2.
Excellent.
And the sad part, look, many people have seen that movie. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
But when you look at that movie, it's at 1.2. And it looks like a $20 million movie. Like some of the locations that we shot, definitely some of that cast, like the French actors.
Right.
We had the cream of the crop.
And it did really well too. So
what?
And it did really well too.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. So the movie got bought, and unfortunately they didn't distribute it right. The movie has been seen more by being on Netflix, HBO, pay-per-view, stuff like that. So it's become like a cult classic.
Right.
The unfortunate thing for me is that like, as producers, we never saw anything.
Oh, really?
And that movie has hit so many different platforms.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you ever had to deal with that in any of your deals and stuff like that, but
yeah.
The
back end, you're waiting for that back end.
There's no such thing as back end. So anyway, so I'm hoping to do a sequel.
Oh, good.
And call it Puerto Ricans in Paradise or something like that. I don't know.
Excellent.
Go hang out in Hawaii for a little while.
Why not? Right? Yeah.
Why is like Hawaii the only paradise that you know, Jackie?
It was just the first thing that came to my mind, Louis. Come on, tell me some slack.
The hate is real.
You don't know half the stuff I have to put up with these two.
Is that?
Hey, Louis, when you make that movie, can I be an Uber driver in it?
Okay. Oh my God. Now
I was an Uber driver once. How's it going? Let me tell you, it's been a pleasure hearing you tell all these stories, and it's really inspiring to hear, how humble you are and just how great you are, and it's just I'm in awe. Do you think I have the look for a bad guy? You think?
Okay, so thank you.
Here's the thing. No. Leave Gustavo there. Leave him 1 minute. Stay right there, Gustavo. Can I ask you something, Gustavo? What kind of people do you think we bring to our show? Because you're always in awe with everyone who we bring to our show.
Oh, damn.
Like, we're scumbags here,
icons. You know.
Or is that you realize who Dito Montiel is now during the conversation? You go, wow, this guy's done all these projects and worked with all these people. Had no fucking idea who he was.
Well, I definitely looked him up before the show. I'm a professional.
So, Dito, I like to ask you a question. So, hey, brother, so what? I like asking this question because, I'm the only one that comes up with questions here.
Okay. Someone's got
a hater. He's such a hater.
Go ahead, Barbara.
Because I don't understand half the shit they're talking about here anyway. but my question is to you. Here we go. Where is it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh fuck! What page is that on?
You got a Bible there.
Well, okay. What Dito? What has been your biggest life lesson?
Oh man, that's I'll tell you, it's a tricky one, but one thing, when I was a little kid, right, I was into hardcore music, and I couldn't play anything, right, and my friend taught me like two fingers how to play a power chord, whatever, right, and we did a show that Friday at the A7 Club. I was 14 years old on Avenue A and 7th Street.
Oh, wow.
This little hardcore place. And you get on stage and you just write. We would write our own songs because we weren't good enough to play anybody's songs. So it was a real do-it-yourself mentality where, I grew up with a lot of people that they were like, they sit at home practicing to get Jimmy Page's leads perfect for 10 years. We were on stage in 3 days and we sucked. Yeah. We were terrible, but we played. And we did our own songs, so it forced us to sort of write our own dumb words and make our own, you rhyme head with dead when you're 14, It's dumb stuff, but it was a sort of seed of that whole thing to me was like the Beastie Boys used to play there too when they were a hardcore band before. I remember when they first became a hip hop band, I was like, it can't be the same Beastie Boys. They're like, oh yeah, it is. But it was a little scene of just kids. And the lesson for me was to sort of do it yourself. Like, listen, like I says, like, I never planned to be in this business. It didn't occur to me. It just wasn't on the radar, like I took every civil service test. I got called to be a token booth clerk just before my band at that point got like a record deal. So like I didn't have to be a token booth clerk, which I kind of thought was a pretty good gig. I'd sit down all day, but some guy got burnt to death that week. I remember somebody like threw gasoline and burnt the token.
I remember that back in the day.
I was like, well, maybe it ain't that good. I don't but that said, it was just sort of like this sort of do it yourself mentality. And so that always stays with me, Luis, like writing, well, I was never a big reader, but I like to write. It made me feel good. For whatever reason, and dumb little songs became dumb little poems, became little stories, and now they're scripts. So I just go with the flow, and INT means interior, so hey, you learn something as you go. So it's a do-it-yourself mentality, and I really believe in it because I love finding actors or writers, and and I read things a lot of times, and I'll be like, wow, I love what this guy's doing. Like, this is a disaster, this script, but boy, he's got what a voice she has or whatever in this thing, I believe very much, Luis, in the do-it-yourself attitude and just take a chance, but I don't believe, like Bukowski says, like, go all in. I don't know. I'm a little more cautious. Like, I would have been happy being a garbage man. I really would have. It wouldn't have stopped me from writing in the midnight hours. So you can always do your own thing. And I'd rather, look, here's my last bit of advice that I really believe in. When I was a kid, Allen Ginsberg, the writer, he took a bunch of pictures because he was shooting every teenager, probably not for good reason. But he's like, hey, come into our apartment. We'll take pictures of you. And I'd be like, okay. But he had I looked at his apartment and I thought, this guy's a famous writer. He's like required reading. And he was telling me about how happy he was that he had this rent-controlled apartment on like 12th between 1st and 2nd, I think, something like that. And I was thinking like, oh my God, like I thought anybody that was on a TV commercial was rich, And And he goes, no, this is what the great thing is. This rent control apartment lets me be a writer. And that was something that never left my mind. Like, instead of thinking I'm going to be a writer to become rich, he was like, this rent control apartment lets me be a writer. You know, I don't need a lot. So I think that's a good thing, because I know it's hard out there, especially, I don't know how actors do it, because I know great actors out there that are just struggling, and everybody's struggling. I mean, it's not any news, but you know, it's tough out there. So and it's talent and hard work too. But you know, you got to try and enjoy the ride, or you go nuts, I imagine.
Wow, bro. Well, I'm glad I heard that. And,
but you don't need to hear that. You're busy.
Yeah, right.
No, but you know what? Because like, I've gotten to know so much more about you. You know, that's why I'm so happy that we do what we do, because we like asking these questions. You know, and that, you know, I don't want to ask you, oh, so what was it working with, like, so, you know, no, man. I like, as an actor, I get asked that question so many times, and it's like, after a while, it's like, so what was it like working with Dito? And I'll say something like, go ask Dito.
I talk about you lots, that's for sure.
No, but listen, man.
Although you betrayed Carlito, how could you betray Carlito?
Oh,
do that to him.
For life,
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought. And whoever's listening to us right now, I'm going to tell this to the world, because the world does not know this. Mm-hmm. Okay, are you ready for this, you guys?
Go ahead.
Pachanga actually survives.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no. There was a version in my head that he survived.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he's still out there walking around. So all you Benny Blancos, you better watch your back.
Let me tell you, I love that scene when Pacino doesn't kill the guy in the alley, and you look at him, and it's like, that's a good look. It's like, uh-oh. Like, he should have.
Yeah, it's gonna get bad.
Yeah.
It's gonna get bad.
But what a good.
You know, because you know, one of the rules that I grew up with, and fortunately for me, I never had this happen to me. But the deal was that if somebody pulled out a gun on somebody and didn't use it, nah. So you know when I pulled out my gun on Benny Blanco, and Carlito didn't let me do it, I didn't fuck it up. Carlito fucked it up for me. You know?
I feel like I'm in that scene right now. I feel like I'm in the alley.
No! You know? So, bro, what are you working on these days? What are you doing?
I'm heading up to Humboldt to be with our friend Terrence. Literally next week. We're doing a movie up in Humboldt County, which is like the sort of marijuana headquarters of Earth.
Oh, okay.
It's quite a remarkable place up there, and I haven't seen Terrence in a while, so he's bringing his whole family, so that'll be nice.
Oh, okay, good. Well, give him my regards, bro.
I will. We'll call you from up there.
So let me ask you something. So how are you guys going to deal with all these protocols?
Well, you know, I've been reading about it and everything, and you know, luckily this movie's almost all outside in the redwoods. Funny enough, you know, and it's a really small movie with a really tight little crew. How are you going to do it? I mean, you know, I'm praying and masks all day long. I mean, I'm no denier, and we sure as heck are going to do everything we can to be as safe. You know, I mean, the protocols are the people the actors and the people that are working with the actors. It's 4 COVID tests a week. You know, like every second day you do a test, and you know, I think they have it set up like stations. Like they set the setup and nobody is there. So I like it like that anyway, because if you want to move something, you don't have to call. Can you move this picture? You just move it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really kind of like a. It's very super indie. That's my specialty. So it's a small tiny crew. So yeah, I mean, and you know, and then you just hope for the best, because everyone's going to quarantine. for 14 days before filming. So you do what you can, you know.
Okay.
Have you filmed? Have you worked during this time? Have you been filming?
No, I just been doing like a lot of stuff on Zoom, you know, voice work, stuff like that.
Right.
You know, I do have a few projects that I want to get off the ground. But you know, I gotta wait for all these protocols, and you know, I mean, what I'm finding out, it's not so much also about the protocols. It's about there's like a lot of actors who panic and don't want to work.
I don't blame them. I mean, you know, to me, it's a tricky spot. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I got a 9-year-old and she ain't going to school until this insanity's over. You know? Let her play with marbles all day instead of going there. I don't care. Yeah. She didn't learn anything in school anyway, so you know. What do you do when you're 9 years old? You don't know what's going on.
Casper's the only guy that I know that on his 17th try got his GED.
You got it. That's okay.
17.
Yo, don't be hating, bro.
Is that true? Is that true, Ken?
Bro, are you kidding me?
You think he's kidding?
Let me tell them. What I love about Casper, he did not give up.
Clearly, yeah.
He did not give up.
He's looking for something right now.
No, he did not give up.
The certificate, I think.
Yeah, his GED. You know?
Love it.
And I don't even think he thought about putting that in the Guinness Book of World Records.
No. Give it a shot. Ripley's, believe it or not.
17 times to pass your GED. That's some shit, yo.
That's a real number. We're not exaggerating.
That's like some never giving up stuff right there.
Definitely agreed.
Good night, Daniel G. Tavia next week. Casper, come back, puñeta.
Daniel G, buenas noches.
Yo. So, Dito. I can't wait till I can give you a hug, brother.
Same here, man. It's going to be nice. I'm going to hug everybody at Starbucks, everybody everywhere. I'm going to be a pain in the ass when this thing is over.
Hugger.
Well, that's the crazy thing because, like, my daughter, she's 9 and she loves to hug people. And I'm like, everything in your instincts now, it's reversed. I'm like, oh, no, you can't hug your friend. And it's like, it's heartbreaking, this whole craziness.
Oh, yeah, man. You know?
It's scary.
Sometimes I just don't want to believe them.
I know.
You know, I got 5 kids, and the other day my wife takes them out, and my 2-year-olds have masks on. My 7-year-old, my 5-year-old, and my 11-year-old, all with masks. And I just wonder how that's going to affect them later on. You know, this time, because it's like it's traumatizing for them. You know, we don't think of that.
Yeah, but you know what? I just want to say something. How many of us for so many years will be going through an airport or something, and we see Asian people, Chinese people with masks on?
That's true. Yeah.
We're like thinking, yo, what the fuck is that all about?
I was big. I used to be like, on big deal, a little dirt.
No. But here's the deal, though. Like in China, if you're sick, you put on a mask because you don't want to get other people
out
sick.
of respect for other people.
Exactly.
Big time.
So,
well, that's crazy. I mean, I know you guys are going in. It's like, I don't want to even go down that wormhole, but I'm like, you know what? Like, even if this was fake, big deal. Put the mask on. Like, is it that hard? It's not like a skydiving outfit. I'm like, I'll put it on just, even if it was, if they said there's a 1% chance it's right, I'll wear it. I don't want anyone getting sick or dying. And you hear these stories. I mean, it's not fake. These numbers are crazy, Anyway,
listen. We're going to say goodbye to you. My blessings. I'll send you a hug, my brother.
Look, same here. Nice to see you all. Stay well. When I see you.
Yes, sir.
All right, bro.
I'll be hugging you. Okay, thank you guys. Take care.
Bye.
All right. So,
you guys think he likes me?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Hi.
So,
Louis, before we do that, there's been a lot of people talking on Facebook, leaving a lot of comments. Phil is still around. I want to see if Phil can actually get on with us. We still got Phil here. Finally, Phil!
Espérate. Wait. I got it. Wait.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
Go ahead.
But it's yours a bong.
I want to make sure, you got your Emmy. I got to put my afro over here so we can see it.
I'm moving away because your audio sucks. It's doubled.
No. Pues deja bajarla aquí entonces. Espérate.
Diantre.
Coño. Wait a minute.
Bájalo.
Okay. No, súbelo.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Now,
Is that okay?
Ooh.
It sounds like the fucking Twilight Zone.
What?
Oye, Casper, te ves medio flaquito, papo. ¿Qué pasa?
And crack is good, bro, and it's cheap.
No joda, estate quieto.
No, it's Florida living, brother. It's always hot out here. I'm always
you get your license yet? Or
yes, sir.
You still taking the bus?
No, I got my license.
Oh, hallelujah!
2 years ago.
Oh, Phil came in here just gigging on you.
It's about time you get you got an Emmy, pero no car. What's going on?
I 2 years ago I had to break it. I had to break that damn curse y buscarme una licencia, bro. Eso es lo que pasa cuando te botan.
Congratulations, papo. You're in.
I used to have a car in LA.
¿Quieres una?
Dame una quenepa.
Yeah, that's right. Jackie used to drive me to do compra every week when I was living down in West Hollywood. She was
I had to drive him around like a fucking I was like driving Miss Daisy and stuff like that.
I know, but hey, at least I fed her. I fed Jackie, right? You worked for food.
You did feed me. And we did watch HBO when I didn't have HBO. So.
Yo, Papa, you used to work for him for free, but he always gave you a tip. So.
Viste.
I don't even know.
No sé qué tip, pero vamos a dejarlo quieto.
That sound is killing
me. I'm sorry.
I like
It sounds like we just stepped into the Twilight Zone.
Man, how do I fix that?
Bueno,
I'm sorry. How do I fix that?
I fixed it.
I don't know. I think. Hey, Dito says, "Love you guys. Thanks. We love you too, brother." I see my buddy Charles Alvarez. Erica Angel and Rosario Ortiz was asking Louis, "Can you name 5 Bruno Mars songs?"
Yeah, Beautiful Girls. I Want to Be a Billionaire. Gorilla. 24 Carats.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on. And hold on. That one and
Treasure. Oh, I have a good one.
Treasure.
Oh. No. I know. Don't worry about it.
Just the way you are. Finesse.
When I see your face, there's not another. Oh, you're amazing. Because you're amazing. That's 5 songs.
Just the way you are. That's it. Just the way you are.
My favorite Bruno Mars song. That's actually really freaking good because I can only name like one.
Really?
But Louis, you're really good with music. I have to say, Louis is really good with music.
Phil, what have you been up to? Talk to us.
Me, I just in the man.
Yo, you need headsets.
Sound a little screwed up here. I'm sorry.
Do you have headsets?
Let me get the headset on.
Yeah. That would absolutely.
Guys, I tried. Sorry.
Gustavo, thanks for having him in the backstage for about 3 hours and not even tell him to go ahead.
Man. We were thinking about, and we know you work for free, and we were thinking about giving you a raise, but I don't know now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
absolutely.
¿Viste? So vamos para allá.
There you go. Now you sound like a man.
I got your man. Mira, I got your man right here.
Ooh.
Yo, Phil, do me a favor. Yeah, turn a little bit more that way so I get that light. No, the other way. The other way. Yeah, you too.
You might know about costume, but you don't know shit about lighting, bro. What's what?
Clearly.
Next time I'll be a little bit more prepared for you, okay?
All right, there. Me gusta que te sentaste así también. Yo me quiero sentar fino. Aquí también, Jolán. Mira.
Look at these men showing leg.
Estamos
okay,
así.
So, you want to sign us out, brother?
The what now?
Oh, don't leave. Don't leave.
Yeah. Stay on. We're absolutely going to sign off a Facebook Live right now. We want to thank everyone who's been listening tonight.
Phil.
I'll stay with you.
Yes, we're going to be backstage hanging out. Yes, we have a backstage that you guys don't
man, you guys should see it.
I know.
VIP, baby, VIP.
Before we leave, I do want to answer a couple of questions here. Aggie, I don't know if any of us ever met Marilyn Manson. I've never met Marilyn Manson. Have you, Louis?
I have.
Really? I love Marilyn Manson. Was he a cool guy? Because I know that.
Totally.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening to the Luis Guzman and Casper Martinez show. Thank you, Jackie Quinones, for being with us once again on the show.
Thank you, guys.
We're out of here. Take care. Comb your hair. Peace.
Boricua.